Good morning, guys. How are we all doing? So Dan from Trading with Dan here. This is our Bitcoin morning update. So if you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button, we will go straight over to the charts. So yeah, I have a bit of confession to make about the presidential debates. I did manage to stay up till 2 o'clock to watch them, and then I just could not keep my eyes open any longer. I get up pretty early most mornings, and I usually go to bed quite early. So yeah, basically 2 o'clock was a bit was a bit difficult for me to stay awake well past 2 o'clock. So yeah, I started watching the first little bit this morning, but I'm gonna get this video done and then I'll watch the rest, and then I may do a video with some opinions and views on it. But not that they really matter anyway. But to be honest, what I will say, the first takeaway from watching the 15 minutes was I was firstly impressed that Joe Biden turned up, and secondly, I mean, from what I've seen on the first section, he was able to speak like a coherent, non-senile person. So yeah, credit to Joe Biden there. I had underestimated his ability. I mean, I haven't watched all the debate. I don't know if he starts to tail off later on, but from what I saw from the first 15-minute segment, yeah, he was quite coherent. So well done. Anyway, so right, let's talk about some Bitcoin instead. Right, so yeah, Bitcoin, as you can see on the 4-hour, we're still tightening within this range, guys. We did have a nice little move up, bullish continuation. Obviously, we said last night this was a pretty bullish looking candle, so taking out the high of it is, you will usually see extension upwards, which we did get to our resistance, and then we got smacked straight back down again. In true tightening formation fashion, true Bitcoin fashion. I don't know if I really want to be drawing another trend line in here, because this is getting pretty ridiculous with all the trend lines. But yeah, we can quite easily put another trend line in here, and I mean, could we put another one along here? Sort of, could we adjust that one to get rid of this bit? Let's have a look how it looks, because I mean, none of this really matters because we're in a tightening formation that is potentially going to break out soon anyway. Yeah, maybe this works better because this wasn't getting held by the trend line anyway. So we won't do that one. We won't put that one in, because realistically, to the downside, we kind of really know we are looking at this 10,600 level, and we don't really need any diagonals in to tell us about about that important level breaking. So yeah, again, still tightening formation. Are we going to break down? Are we going to break up? We are clearly going to get our lead from the stock markets and the dollar. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how markets digest the debates today. I mean, in all fairness, the futures aren't doing a lot, so I'm guessing, having not seen it, I guess it was a bit of a non-event. I've heard people say that there was nothing really important spoke about. They were just having a dick swinging contest. But hey, just that's fair play to them. Maybe we'll get some actual. Maybe I think the other debates, some of them they have like the VPs or VPs in, or potential VPs in. So those ones may be more interesting to watch. Although to be honest, I think that may be worse, maybe be more volatile for the markets, because I think I don't think Kamala's gonna perform that well with her views. Anyway, so yeah, Bitcoin, yeah, tiny formation. We're just gonna have to wait for lead from the other markets. I mean, I will whiz through the Stokes now, but they're not as relevant at the moment. As you can see, FAR's literally just flip-flopping around in the middle of the zone, which was what you would expect. They're not so important when we don't really have a trend or momentum. Momentum indicator is no good when there is no momentum. So all we can really do is look at the higher time frames. So if we look at the daily, I mean, even daily here, curling up in the middle, much the same as the 4-hour, not a lot going on. 2-day, same thing, just stopped at its point, not really moving. 3-day looking like it's going to slow down here. So, but obviously we got the longer time frames. 5-day moving down, weekly moving down, bi-weekly turning down, but monthly looking good. So, I mean, it's hard to say. We've obviously got the 5 weekly to bi-weekly. I mean, we can just call the weekly and bi-weekly and monthly. we've got the weekly and bi-weekly clashing with the monthly at the moment, and that's really all we can read from the stochastics at this present moment. We do just need to see a breakout of this range, basically. If we want to look at the large, obviously monthly closes are important. If we close above these highs on the monthly, then if we go over to the monthly, you can see where we are at. You can see these previous closing highs here. 10 wait, here we go. Sorry, yeah, so basically closing was 10,761, opening was obviously 10,761, so we'll call it 10,800. Closing above 10,800 would be pretty good, actually. We've had the back test below, we closed back above, and then yeah, you would expect extension onwards and upwards. So yeah, that would be particularly bullish. Obviously, if we close like around 10,600, 10,500, wherever, then well, not wherever, but just below. What's that? Oh, I need to sneeze. Or just basically below these closers, and then yeah, we will potentially be looking for a move down. I mean, we could realistically come down to this level here. You can see on the monthly, it looks like quite a nice important level to back test, so we could call that, well, 9.5 basically, so round about 9.5. So it's only $1,000 move. That is nothing on a monthly scale at all, and we could get a bounce off there, come back up and still look pretty good. So yeah, that's not really much else we can read into that at the moment. We are just waiting for the move. That is coming. DXY has bounced nicely off our level, as you would expect. But well, not necessarily expect, but as now looks perfectly normal. But we did come down pretty strong, and I was pretty much expecting it to break below, like almost straight away. But hey, important levels are important levels, and well, I guess it's a case of how high do we bounce. We've obviously got this trend line coming in here that could reject us back down. I mean, we had this level, broke back above, failed, come back down. If we back test this level, this trend line, and then get rejected again, that could actually signal a sort of swing failure pattern. Oh, there's a guy I was watching, a forex trader. I watched a really good video on this HSB, like senior forex market maker. I can't remember what his name was. But what did he call it? It's basically the same pattern, the swing failure pattern, but he had like sort of called it his own thing and pretended it was like his thing. Yeah, it's a similar pattern basically. You basically, once you break out of a pattern and then you come back into the pattern, he basically says that's pretty much the most powerful slingshot reversal. That's it. Slingshot reversal. So if you Google slingshot reversal, it'll come up with the guy's name, and maybe tell you a little bit about it. But all a slingshot reversal is a swing failure pattern. So or just a break out of a pattern, a break below, same sort of thing. So basically, we broke above, upwards out of this ascending wedge. Potentially bearish formation. We fell back into the ascending wedge, and then basically that is the point that you'll sell and break down, and sort of a slingshot. So you go the other way, sling the other way, and then shot down the other way. So have we got a slingshot reverse on this descending, on this what is basically a bearish formation, and ascending wedge, in a bearish move down, and a sort of in a bear flag fashion? Maybe. Are we going to get the slingshot to the downside? Maybe. I may even put one of our arrows in here, if I can find it. Yeah, we'll actually put an arrow in here to see if this plays out, because I believe it could. Slingshot reversal. But yeah, it was interesting. He was basically just telling him about forex trading, and what was most interesting is obviously he was saying, not obviously, but most interesting, he was saying about how only 50% of his trades are profitable, and that's pretty much how it goes over his whole like trading years. And so how he measures his performance is basically how big his winners are compared to his losers, which obviously makes sense. If basically your winners and losers are 50-50, and he just knows his 50% chance he's going to win his trades or lose his trades, then it's a case of how big are your winners compared to your losers, and that's how he measures. And that is an interesting, because I've made problems like this in the past where you just try and make winning trade after winning trade, and it sort of affects your mentality. And realistically, you should be happy to make losing trades. Even if you make more losing trades than winning trades, but your winners are big, that is fine. But yeah, if you're making 50% and your winners are bigger than your smallers, that is also fine. It's when you try and make 100% winners that you run into problems. That's where you run into problems, because then you start to, well, not because having 100% winners would be a bad thing in itself, because the way that you will try and do that will be to do things you shouldn't do trading wise, basically. So yeah, are we going to get this move down in the dollar? Are we we will see. Or are we going to bounce off this and go bullish? It does remain to be seen. Over to Ethereum holding in there. I will draw this trend line, even though we've had a bit of a move out of it, a bit of obviously this move up. I'll draw this because it may be, I believe it may be of some relevance. We'll get rid of the arrowhead. No, we won't. Yes, we will. Yes, we will. Where's the arrowhead? Here it is. Yeah. We'll see. If we break back above this, I think we'll be looking good. I mean, you could look at this as an inverted head and shoulders. Obviously with some price action, some deviant price action. But yeah, inverted head and shoulders. This could play out. So that's Ethereum USD. Ethereum BT for the people looking for something bullish in this not so bullish looking formation, inverted head and shoulders. Ethereum BTC. I mean, this is obviously more clear trend line, break above here, and then yeah, onwards and upwards, clear bottom of this level. I mean, clear looking like a descending triangle, very much like one. So this could trade below. I mean, obviously we are moving. Obviously we've got this, it's not perfect, clearly. This is the low, this is the low, this is the low. It's clearly not a flat bottom, but yeah. Ethereum, so Ethereum, if it does start to make a move, it could break up. I'm interested to know what's happened here. Obviously they've done, I mean, I don't know how this is calculated, so I can't really comment, but obviously there's no moves like this really previously, apart from this move here, which would have coincided with a big move in Bitcoin. Although I'm not going to go back and check it, but this is clearly looks different. Gold silver ratio, got a nice 80 hand and 7 handle again, sub 80. Well, DXY's got his 93 handle back. Excellent, only just. So let's have a look at stocks now, all important stocks. So as you can see, they have lost this level, which we're trying to bounce off. Obviously that's volatility to do with obviously what we've just been talking about, so that's not really good. We don't really want to see this downside, because this could get follow through when cash markets open. So this just concern me a little bit, actually. This price action does concern me. Yeah, it does. That's it, can't say much more. Yeah, so this could come down now. This could just be another lower high. You'll obviously notice the 9s on this 4 hour. 4 hours is my favorite time frame for the 9s, as you know, for trading, for shorter term trading wise. Obviously we look out for them on all time frames to get an overall view. But yeah, this does look like it could come down. I mean, we have come down already. We have tested this horizontal, but again, like I was saying with DXY, we've come down pretty hard. So for it to stop and reverse here, I mean, you can't necessarily say that's the most likely scenario. I mean, we'll just have to either place them sideways or even some more down. But either way, that's not really good. That's not good for the cause. So yeah, we've got to keep an eye on this. I mean, realistically, if we can take back this horizontal, I would be pretty happier with the situation, and then start to make our move back to 3,400. So back to Bitcoin on the 4 hour. Yeah, like I said, we're going to break out we're going to have an expansion of volatility at some point, probably soon, and the direction is unknown, but it will probably be the same as whatever breakout in volatility direction wise we have in stock markets, or the dollar. If the dollar keeps coming down, then we will go up, because we're getting to the point now where people will start becoming bearish of the dollar again. It was looking obviously pretty hairy at this moment, but if we lose this level too, this will start to look like we are coming down. If we turn around here and start to come back up, the exact opposite will be the case, and this will start to look very bullish again. Well, again, this did look quite bullish, but it will confirm people's bullish bias, in which case we will probably get a lot more risk off. So yeah, we are at an inflection point, an important point in the dollar, and yeah, that will probably be what drives us. Obviously stock markets too, but I think it will be the direction of this. So yeah, that is it, guys. I'm gonna watch the presidential debates now, and see how those guys are getting on. So, yeah, that is it, guys. Remember, this is not a financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research, and I will speak to you guys later on today.